Holy guacamole, guys. It is currently February 16th. And let me tell you guys, it is one of the first recognizable dreams I've had in a while. But yeah, I just woke up. Anyways, let me tell you guys before I forget. Okay, so first off, I started off in my house. I got a phone call from this guy that I literally haven't talked to since middle school. And he called me. He was telling me he was newly single. He was asking me what I was up to. And hold on, guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I remember the dreams fully. I haven't been able to remember a dream. Like someone's blocking me. Anyways, so he's calling me, telling me that, he's like, oh, like, remember when we used to hang out? And I was like, I don't know, not really, because we were kids in middle school, but yeah. And then I stayed on the phone, and then he started to show me like his apartment, and he started telling me he lived on his own. And then he's like, just kidding, like I live with roommates. He started passing the phone around, and there's like this other girl and this guy, and he goes to the bathroom, and they're on the phone, and I'm like, oh, hey, hi, like, how are you guys doing? Like, what's your name? And then they tell me, like, oh, hey, they tell me their name. I forgot their name. And yeah, they're just telling me, like, who am I? And I'm just like, oh, like, I don't know. I just said I'm a friend. And yeah, so that was what I remember from the dream, guys. Oh, we're cooked. I've been sleeping early. Again, yeah, I feel like I've been doing my thing. I just haven't been able to remember much of the dreams. If you guys remember, I also had a bunch of dreams earlier. I had a bunch of dreams regarding, like, getting busy with people. And now that I think about it, like, after some real life situations, I feel like all I wanted to tell myself was that I'm not really meant for, like, the sneaky link life. Like, that is just not, like, for me. And I need to find, I don't need to find anything. It's gonna find me. Thank you. But yeah, I shouldn't look for sneaky link. It's just not for me. Yeah, I just don't get what I want out of it. It's not. That's all I've been kind of getting. But literally this whole month has just been, like, pretty much not many dreams, guys. I think the last dream I had was like March 11th, which is 5 days ago. But whatever. Thank you, guys. That was it. Okay, guys. So, okay. I'm catching up on one of them because I didn't do it. February 28th. Okay. I woke up on my bed, but it was the bed from when I lived at my old apartments. And I was watching TV with my sister and a previous significant other, right? He was hinting at getting busy. In my dream, I actually felt like we were in love. Yes, it actually did feel like that. It felt like a different perspective. Like, I was pretty happy with him. My sister ended up going to her room. While that was going on, the TV was still on. After a while, my sister never came back to the room and left the TV on. Since we were not watching the TV, I decided to go ask my sister if she was going to go back to watching TV or we were going to have to turn it off because we were going to head to school. We went to a Hogwarts looking school. It was really nice. had a lot of trees. It was very whimsical. And we went to school and we were messing around in the hallway. Like, I guess there was no class because all we were doing was messing around in the hallways. We were running around playing tag. I felt like I was younger in this dream. And you already know I pulled out the cheat code because I knew I was dreaming. And I decided to fly around the school because I'm a top G. I was flying around because we were playing tag and I didn't want to get caught. And there was so many things to look at. Once I got to the top, like top of the school, like I could see that we were surrounded by like waterfalls, and like there was a waterfront, and there was lots and lots of trees. It was a fantasy world, and all of our mutual friends were present at the school as well. For whatever reason, I had to go to a near city and check out the street. We had spent the day at school and it was now dark. Again, there was a waterfront with lots of restaurants, and people were celebrating a certain event with fireworks. I got invited to a party, and I called the past significant other to let them know that it was a good place and that we should go tomorrow, because I guess we had planned it and I went to go check it out before we went together for whatever reason. I went to the party and then I went back to school, and again at school we were just messing around. We were just relaxing, like there was literally nothing to do. We watched the sunset and there was lots of beautiful like fairy lights, and that's when I woke up. And that was February 28th. March 3rd, which is today, I don't really remember. I know I dreamed, but I don't know what I dreamed. I just woke up. The last thing I remember was that I had really long hair and I was brushing it and I was drying it and I was brushing it out. I wasn't doing my hair or anything. I was just drying it with a Dyson. I was really happy. And then I also heard, I remember hearing about a meadow and going down into the meadow, but I don't remember what we did. So that's it. That's me catching you guys up. March 6th, I finally had a dream. But first, since this is my pajama, look, man, this is what I'm working with, guys. This is me starting from the bottom. I got a better video. Okay, I'm gonna change. Anyways, so it all started with I spawned in a bed with, it was my bed, and I had to share it with this little girl. And this little girl had a dog, and this little dog also had to share with us. And I was fine with that. But then the girl started to kick me, and she started to low-key tell her dog to bite me. And at first, nah, actually, never mind. I was not gonna let this slide, because why were they bothering me while I was trying to sleep? I had work the next day. In my head, that's what I was thinking to myself, I got work tomorrow, please, you're doing way too much. And this little girl did not care. She's like, you can't do anything. I'm a little girl. And that just pissed me off. So I was about to smack her, but she's a little kid, so I didn't. And apparently my room was down the hall from her parents. So I go out in the hallway and I go up to her parents' room. I knock. And her parents are actually my parents. And we also have my dog, but my dog was with my parents. And so I tell them, I'm like, hey, I don't know what's wrong with this little girl. She's literally kicking me. She's trying to bite me. And then she's telling her dog to bite me, and the dog is listening to her. And I don't want to hit her because I am grown. They were like, oh, okay, we'll fix it. They talked to her for 2 seconds, and she does not care. I go back, and she's telling the dog to jump on me. As I'm entering through the door frame, she's telling the dog to jump on me. Ooh, I almost crashed out. But anyways, I don't crash out, and I'm listen. I go back to the bed, and I tell her, I'm we can just go to sleep right now. Like, it really doesn't have to be that deep. Let's go to sleep and, you know, we'll talk about this tomorrow. Please, I got work tomorrow. I didn't tell her that, but I told her that we should go to sleep. She said no, and her dog is still biting me. So I go to the other room and I tell my parents, or her parents as well. I tell them, let me just sleep here. Guys, what? Because Twitch places you guys can sleep with her, because I can't do this shit. And then my dad, which was also, by the way, not my dad, because he was Asian, but it was my dad. And so I tell him, and he's like, okay, like, you wouldn't, like, don't you just want to trade like beds or something? And then I was like, no, like, I don't want her as my roommate. Like, I don't want her in my bed. She's making me crash out, and I'm wasting time talking to you when I could be asleep getting energy for work. And then he was like, okay, cool, fine. We switched spots. And then the morning comes, like, almost immediately, and I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, I gotta go to work. I get up and I'm about to get ready, and I get ready, I go, and now I'm under this bridge in Seattle. I've actually seen this bridge in Seattle. I'm under this bridge, and there is, like, I guess, a phlebotomist. Like, someone's gonna take my blood, they told me. And there's a bunch of needles, and I'm just like, please, like, make sure it's a good needle. I don't want, like, an old needle with anything on it. And they were just like, yeah, bro, don't worry about it. Like, this is our special training, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. So I get my blood drawn under a bridge for some reason. And then in the corner, I see like 4 people in this little corner store. And I go in, and apparently they were supposed to be next. Now there was a park, like, a park for kids where they could play on it. And I told them, I'm like, hey, oh no, I didn't talk to them at first. But my sister, my youngest sister, was with me. And she wanted to go play at the park. She wanted to play on, like, the seesaw. And she hopped on. Then these 3 people at this corner store come out, and they're drinking. And they come on, they tell her, hey, you're too old for that, get off. And I go up to them, and I'm like, you guys are mad grown, why are you guys talking to her? First of all. Second of all, how is she too grown? Like, this is a seesaw. Mind your business. And they got really mad. They started telling me, they're like, you're not even, like, a pure blood. Like, don't play with this. You don't know who we are. And I was like, I don't give a who you are. Like, I'm here in the city, and I'm here. My sister's gonna play on that seesaw, so mind your business. And then, now they're really mad. And they're like, I don't know, like, where my manners were. And they were, like, telling me, okay, this is the weird part, because I don't ever dream about anything, but, like, related to this. But they were telling me, they were like, we are from, like, Israel, this and that. And, like, we come from the greater land. Like, they gave me a whole spiel, and I was like, listen, we are not in Israel, we are in America. So unless, and I'm not even on some, like, MAGA, okay? Like, I was just mad, because why are they trying to give me a spiel about Israel when I'm in the whole USA? Like, shut up. You sound mad stupid. And then they got hella mad, and they had needles from the phlebotomy spot. And they were like, keep talking to us like that, keep disrespecting us, you're gonna deal with the consequences. I was like, what? You're gonna stab me with these needles? Give me an easy lawyer case? Like, go ahead. And then, because at this point I was hella mad. And, you know, like, why are you talking? Like, if you talk to my sister, if you were to tell me to get off the seesaw, I would just ignore him. But he's talking to my sister. Mind you, she's just playing at the park. Like, shut up. Anyways, my sister's still playing. But at this point, like, they're threatening me. She's like, yo, I can get off. Like, and I'm like, no. Like, you're not gonna get off because, like, who are they to tell you what to do, right? And then she's like, no, but, like, they're threatening you. And I was like, I wish they would. Anyways, I was just telling them. And then, yeah, so they start telling me, and they have, like, 4 needles. And I'm like, where do you even get these from? And they're like, they're used, they have diseases. And I'm like, whatever. I was like, you go ahead and do that, and I get $1 bajillion in a case. I was like, go ahead. And then I started recording. Like, I pulled out my phone, and I started recording, and I was like, do it. Give me my money. And I said, oh, because you're not going to get out of here. I was fuming. I was fuming. But they ended up actually doing it. So they, like, put, like, 4 needles in my hand. And they kind of look like, they didn't look like regular needles. They look like the pins that you use to hold the fabric in place for when you're sewing. They had a little button at the end, like a little ball. They put that in my hand all the way in. They were laughing. They were laughing so hard. I recorded that. I got, like, the footage of them putting it in my hand and laughing. And I went slowly and I got all their faces. And then I was like, this is me. And I said the date, the time, this and that, the threats, everything. Like, I, like, stated it. And they just let me. Or I guess they were, like, too busy laughing that they didn't realize that I was, like, doing this whole thing. And then I was like, thank you. And I took them out of I stopped recording. I took them out of my hand and I put it on this girl's, like, there was a girl laughing a little too hard. So I stuck them all in her ass. I put them on her butt. And then I told my sister, I was like, let's go. They were hella mad. Ooh. I go to, and they didn't get that on footage. They didn't have no proof. So, anyways, I go to an office, like a lawyer's office, like immediately after. I tell my sister to run, like, we run out of there. And, we get to a lawyer's office, and I'm like, hey, this just happened to me at the park, and I just think this is, like, really illegal. And then they were like, oh, yeah, that's very illegal. And then they asked where the pins were, and I was like, obviously, I took them off. Like, why would I leave them in my hand? You know what I mean? Like, that hurts. And they're like, okay. But I did have the pin marks on my hand, and I did have the footage, so, like, you know? Anyways, and I had the video of them putting it in my hand, so, like, there was no denying that. So they're like, okay, we have a solid case, blah, blah. We started talking about cases, and they said, okay, we're gonna have to go back to where we were. Now, I told the people what I was gonna do, and I was gonna run away. And I didn't tell them I was gonna go talk to a lawyer, but I kind of did, because I was like, you guys are mad stupid if you think you're getting away with this. Like, anyways, I come with my lawyer to this park again. And then they are there at the corner store again. I'm like, look, they're literally right there. And then they go up to them, and they're trying to act all nice. They're like, oh my god, hi, like, Mr. Officer, and stuff like that. Like, what brings you around, you know what I mean? And they're like, well, we got word. And they're like, not just word, but, like, footage of you doing this and that. So, like, you know, we have to kind of investigate, right? And then they did not dare say that I also did it back, because they were too busy apologizing. They were like, no, like, it was an accident, like, we fell. And they're like, no, like, we got this all on footage. And then, anyways, as they were, I guess they arrested them. They just didn't put them in handcuffs. As they were doing that, me and my sister just dipped. They said they would take care of it. And there's a little bit more to this dream, but I do have to go upstairs to do my hair and wash my face. So I'll be right back. Y'all see how quick I got ready for work? Yeah, I don't play. Anyways, so we're done with this whole, like, situation with these people. And then I get invited to a party, but I was already invited. I didn't get invited in the dream, but I know I had to go. So I went to this party, and it was okay, this was also weird. And anyways, so this was set kind of like at this was set, it looked like the school lunchroom of my high school. And I went, there was, again, the people from like the Israel thing were there. And you know, I would never say like I have anything against like the land, I guess, but like I know there are some people from the region, right, this area that would, I'm sorry, they are racist. Like, I don't know, like with the whole like, and I'm not even trying to get political, but like with the whole Palestine thing, like you gotta be insane to think that's not like wrong. Anyways, so there was this party at the school lunch tables, and they were all over. Now, some of these people looked pretty nice, but like there was other people that were like the other people that were like, you are here in this country, blah blah blah, blah blah, blah, Israel. Like, bro, you're doing way too much. You're doing a lot of this, but not a lot of action. You know, if you really love Israel so much, then why don't you go back? Anyways, we were there, but there was also a large Filipino population, because we were having a party that was for a Filipino person, which is someone that I know. And we were at this party. It was low-key like the vibe was down. Like there was no one dancing. There was music and stuff like that, but like, again, there was a large section of these people that were just like sitting there like looking all like this was weird, like they don't get down, right? So then I'm talking to my friends, and they're telling me about work and how their day has been, and they asked me how my day was been. I was trying to think about whether or not I should tell them, because low-key I didn't want to face another assault, like, but I also like, I was like, I'm not gonna back down, like, just because these people are gonna act on it. Like, if they hate me, they hate me. They're gonna do, if they already had something planned, they're gonna do it. Like, these people had malicious intent. Yes, maybe I crashed out a little bit, and maybe I was like, shut up, like, don't talk to me like that. But at the same time, like, you can't be in the world and expect no one to, like, you can't talk and expect no one to talk back. You know what I mean? If someone's already talking to you like that way, you already see the aggressiveness, you already see that it's gonna be like that, might as well fight for it, because anyways, so we're at this party, and the person that I know that is like my friend, they get up and they start dancing. And mind you, my friend is really good at dancing. So they get down on the dance floor, there's people looking at them all funny, and like another friend joins them. And now you already know me, like, I love to dance, right? So she starts doing the thing that's like pulling me into the circle, like lassoing me in. And then my friends are telling me about how like they kind of hate their job, they kind of hate this and that. And then one of them was asking me if we were still friends. And then I got lassoed in. And when I got lassoed in, I was ready to get down. I was about to hit the gritty. I woke up. So that was it for my dream, guys. Yeah, that was it. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Okay, so I don't know if I recorded okay, so March 6th I had a dream that I went to, I don't know why I've had like recently, like my dreams have not been, I haven't been able to remember them as much, so I'm just gonna go over what I remember. So March 6th, I remember that I went to a Bad Bunny concert. It was at a public plaza, and I saw someone that I knew from across the venue, I guess. Then March 7th, yesterday, I had a dream that I was in school and I went to a conference meeting. I met with this person that I do know, and then some guy that I do not know, and I did not want to stay the whole time. I went to the airport, and then the girl asked if I had a different shirt because the guy didn't like the shirt he had on. I only had the shirt on my back, but he didn't like the shirt that I had, and they both hugged me to leave the airport. The guy told me to to be careful with my head. On the right side of my head, he pointed right here, and he's like, you need to be careful, like this and that. But I couldn't hear what he was saying. He was just talking. This was March 7th. And then March 8th, and I don't know if I said on March 3rd, the only thing I remember was that I was drying my really, really long hair with the Dyson. I was like straightening it out and everything. It was really long. But March 8th, which is today, I had a dream that my friend invited me to their apartment, and they told me that I could come eat honeycomb. Apparently their apartment had like a whole section where you could just get a slab of honeycomb. And so I went and I ate the honeycomb for a little bit. We talked, we hung out. Then I called my mom to pick me up. She came and she brought like both of my dogs, my sisters, everyone, like the whole family came to pick me up. And then my dog ate the rest of the honeycomb because I guess I didn't eat the whole thing, and I just left like a small. We were in a lounge room. There was a lounge room at the very top of the roof, and that's where the honeycomb was. And so my dog went with my mom all the way upstairs, and I had left the honeycomb on the floor of the lounge room, so she picked it up and ate it. And then he left to go to the bathroom while my parents came, and so my mom, she doesn't wait. She was like, let's go. So I texted this person that came to visit. I said, hey, I'm sorry, like, I left, but thank you for the honeycomb. And he's like, oh, it's all good, it's all good. Later on, my mom decided to tell me, she's like, oh my God, like, we should go back. And I was like, bro, we literally already left. I already texted him that we left, why should we go back? So, yeah, we went back, and he saw me going up the stairs of his apartment again. And he was like, oh my God, where are you going? And my mom, honestly, she just wanted to see him. She told me she just wanted to see what he looked like. So, yeah. So she saw what he looked like. And today, guys. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. She saw what he looked like. And then that was it. She kind of, like, told me to say hi to him. I said hi to him. And she's like, oh, that's who he is. Like, that's who you've been hanging out with. And I was like, yeah, bro, he's a chill guy. And then, yeah, that's when the dream ended. But, guys, this dream, I had it. Okay, the other days I was trying to sleep on my back. Today, I slept on my side. And I had a dream. So maybe my theory is incorrect. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. Welcome back, guys. So today is March 11th. I think yesterday I already did the log. 9. Anyways, today I just had a dream. I can't remember the whole dream, guys. I don't know what's going on. But what I do remember is that I spawned in my room, okay? This is like a repeat. Like, I keep having this dream, and I'm trying to lock in and figure out what it means. Anyways, I woke up in my room. I was spawn point, and I had some random guy in my room, like some random guy, and I was like falling asleep like that ass, like just knocked out on the bed, and then he was hinting at something else, right? This time my sister was not in the room. There was no one in the room. But when he started to kind of like work his way through his suggestions, I saw like on like the board of my bed, it wasn't the same board that I have right now. I had like a shelf, and I saw that my sister's phone was charging in there, and I was like, bro, she's gonna come back for her phone because it's charging. So I'm like, nah, bro, like I'm telling him, I'm like shutting it down low-key. I'm like, nah, like I'm good. And then my mom calls me, and then I go and I check what's going on with my mom, and I go and give my sister's phone back as I'm on my way already, because I'm already like I'm gonna give it to her. And then I go do that, and someone's yelling at me from across the, I don't even know who this is yelling at me, but they're yelling at me. And I go around. I ended up going, like, for, like, doing chores. Like, I ended up taking out the dog. I ended up doing this and that, and, like, getting my sister's phone and talking to my mom, my dad. And then I ended up coming back to my room after, like, what seemed like 20 minutes. And he was gone. The guy was gone. And I was like, wow, like, he couldn't wait. How dare he? And then I go out again. And then I guess I have a room. I guess that wasn't my real room. And I guess I had a real room right across the hallway. So I go across to my real room. And I'm about to close the door. And then my sister barges in and she's like, since you're not busy anymore, like, can you help me with this? I think it was like school related. And then my mom called me again and I crashed out. I was like, guys, like, please, I just want to have like a couple minutes alone. Like, please, like, I just need to relax a little bit. And then they told me we were gonna go to a funeral. And well, like, not a funeral, but it was a funeral. And I was like, I just really need to get ready for this. I just really need to get ready for this. And it was a funeral for someone that is dead, that died pretty recently, I would say. And I didn't end up going to her funeral because I had work. I didn't really know her that well, so I didn't call out of where my parents went. So it was the same funeral for this person. So there was a hall across the road, just like across the street. And there was a hall, and there was like people confessing themselves to this little girl. This little girl with a white comedian dress had a mic. She was standing at a podium, and there was like a line of people getting in line, and they had to confess themselves to get into the funeral. And so I was like, bro, like, okay. So I saw that there was a big line, and low-key this looked like an opening for like a restaurant. Like, no disrespect, but like, it just, I was like, bro, I really have to audition to get in. Like, they don't even know me like that, bro. What if they don't even let me in? Like, I'm not gonna do all that. And so yeah, I ended up, we drove by, and then my dad and my sisters got off, but I didn't get off. I like went and I took the car, and that's when I woke up when I was driving the car. So who knows if I crashed? Who knows? But yeah, that's what I dreamed, guys. So, guys, it is not November. Oh my god, November. It is March 21st, and I finally had like a real dream. But like, well, I mean, I remembered it. So on the 17th of March, I had a dream and I couldn't remember it. The last thing I remember was someone touched my shoulder. They were like, you have a nice back, like my back. And I turned around and then I woke up. So that wasn't even a dream. And then yesterday, it was the 20th, and I had a dream that I was like talking to someone about like cleaning my room, but I had already cleaned my room and I didn't remember the rest. But today, oh my god, today was okay. So I was in my room. Guys, we're back. I was in my room, and as I was in my room, I'm like getting ready to go out, which I'm actually gonna go out. But this is actually kind of concerning now that I think about it. Anyways, I was getting ready to go out, and the venue was next door. So like literally the other side of this wall was the venue that I was gonna be going to. And we were actually in an apartment, so I had my own apartment. This was my apartment, like this level right here, and then next door was the venue, other side of this wall. And then, so I'm getting ready, and then I go out to check, and there are like stairs, like there's a bunch of stairs, like it kind of looks like what I imagine Paris looks like. Like it was really nice. It was like the neighbors had their front porches, their balconies, and like it was just a really nice setup for the apartments. So I go out through my door and the garage door, which is actually the door to the outside with the stairs and the balconies, and I'm looking around, and someone stops me, and they're like a scientist, and they're like, it's a guy scientist, and he tells me, "Are you gonna go to the Nicki Minaj concert?" I was like, "Nicki Minaj, yes." Nicki Minaj was gonna be performing right next to my house, so I was like, "Yes." I guess that's what I was like getting ready for. And so he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Would you be able to follow me to my room?" he was gonna show me something. So I'm like, okay. So it's actually not even his room. It's like an open space, and there's like a bar. I know there's like a bar. There's no alcohol on the bar, but there's like a bar right there on the side. And we go up these stairs. We go up. There's a bar, and then there's like a room that's open space, like an L shape. And he has a computer on the side behind the bar. On the side behind the bar, he has a computer set up, and he starts typing, and he's like taking data, and he's like, okay, so like, do you like Nicki Minaj? Like, he was just asking me questions, like, if I liked her, if I knew her songs, how long have I been a fan, if I was like a real fan. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, low-key, I'm a poser, because I don't know like all her lyrics, and I don't know, like, I like her music and I listen to it, and there are sometimes, you know, where I'm just like, I quote her a lot, and her songs, I quote Motorsport, her lines on Motorsport a lot. And then, yeah, other things she says, like the cute little ladybug. So I pulled those out. And then he's like, okay. And then there was like, he was like, well, I would be careful. Like, there are people setting stuff on fire. Like, there are people without good intentions today. And we just need to be safe. Now, I was like, okay. And then I was like, who are you? Because, like, you're asking way too many questions. Like, you know my name. Like, you know where I live. You know you saw me walk out of where I live. Like, who are you? He tells me he's an RA. So we're in student housing. And they didn't call them RAs. He said they were canvassers. Guys, I don't know if you guys remember, I was a canvasser for like a week before I got fired. So I was like, yo, like, canvassers? Anyways, but in the dream it made sense. I was like, okay, canvassers. So they had like, this little L corner thing was like their canvasser RA spot that they could meet at, and that they could, you know, do that. They were the ones planning the event for Nicki Minaj. And so I was like, oh, okay, that sounds great. So then I'll just go back to my room. And so I'm about to head back down to my room, down the stairs, go in there. And he's like, wait, no. I turn around. The room is full. There are hella people there. There's like little girls. There's like young women. And they're all like meeting up. They're getting ready. Everyone is getting ready. So everyone is going to get down with the Nicki Minaj. And I guess they were allowed to get ready there. And so I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I'm going to leave. I go down a level because I'm on the 3rd level. I go down a level. And then I see on the 2nd floor on the balcony, I see Nicki Minaj writing her verses. She's like there. She has like, and I knew it was her because she was like bobbing her head, like she was like low-key doing her, like, her mannerisms, right? And she was like writing down stuff in a notebook, and she was like shaking her head, and then she's like, okay. But she looked like she was kind of losing her mind. Like, she looked like she was not down for this. This was not a gig that she was thinking of doing. Like, it's not her cup of tea. And so I don't talk to her, but I see her writing, and I'm like, damn, so she's gonna like either release a new song soon, or she's gonna switch up some lyrics on stage. Like, what is she doing? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave her alone. I go out, I go to my room again, and I'm like getting ready. I'm finishing touches, and then as I'm doing that, I start to see smoke coming in through my window, and it's dark outside. So it was light outside, and then all of a sudden it was dark outside, and I start to see smoke coming in. And like, bro, what is going on? They better not burn down my house. Like, I was like, this is the only place I got to live. Like, this is mad real. Like, what are they doing? So I look out the window and I see fire. And I see like 4 young kids, like running around warning people. And I'm like, dude, there's no way. So I run out and I check the venue. and it's like in flames, like engulfed in flames. And Nicki Minaj is in there in the flames, and she's writing down her notebook. She's like going crazy, writing down her notebook. And I'm like, girl, you're gonna burn. Like, get out. Get out. And then the RA guy that was asking me a bunch of questions, like, he was there and he wasn't helping her out. And he's like, we can handle this. Like, just go back to your room. And I was like, okay. And so I go to my room, but he actually follows me into my room. He's like, I need to watch you have the best view. Like, I'm just gonna, if I could just stand here, I kind of have to watch. Anyways, I'm allowed to, like, go into every room. So I was like, okay. So he and I are looking out the window, and we're watching as there's no one there. Like, the fire is engulfing everything, like the whole thing. And I'm like, hey, if you guys don't do anything, I'm like, what about the cops? Like, what about the fire department? You guys can't call anyone? And he's like, by RC law, whatever the fuck. He started saying, he's like, our canvassers have to put out the fire themselves. They're trained firefighter, like, whatever. And so I see them out there. I finally see them post up. They have, like, these firefighter jackets, and it's 2 of them. And it's, I never seen them. But it's 2 of them. And they're pulling up with this to the side of the, venue. And they have, like, 3 buckets of water. Like, huge buckets of water. And they're, like, hella nonchalant. They go in, they throw sand. And then they put water. And then, yeah, it's over. Like, the fire is out and, like, really fast. So that ended. And yeah, that was pretty much the dream that I had. So, guys, we are back. We got a new dream. Hopefully this doesn't mean, because today I am going to go to, like, a venue that is downstairs, that is, like, I think there's 2 levels, though. And it's not Nicki Minaj performing. But hopefully this doesn't burn down. But yeah. I think I wasn't having any dreams. This is my theory, guys. And it came to my head the other day. And I was like, you know what? I think that I am getting my messages while I am awake. Like, the things that I need to know, I know them either in the moment or when I need to. So there's either nothing that I need to know right now. I'm living as it is. Or I get the messages because I'm living so in the moment without a dream. Like, I don't need a dream anymore. So okay. And I don't know, and I'm gonna see how long this video is, because this video has, like, like, I'm telling you guys, I haven't dreamt at all. Or I have, and I forget it immediately as soon as I wake up. But I always wake up at 6 a.m. And if I have a dream, I always wake up at 6 a.m. And that is not, like, a good time. Like, I'm not gonna wake up and write it down, because I got an hour left to work. Or so I could wake up to go to work. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to sleep. But I always wake up at 6 a.m. And every time I go to sleep again, I never have a dream that second time. And I don't remember, like, that tiny little sliver of things. Or tiny thing that I dreamt at 6 a.m. So, if I keep getting, like, I would say, guys, this is literally telepathy. Like, either, if it's not me telling myself these things, like, it's, this is actually, like, I'm locked in, guys. But yeah, if I don't get any more dreams, because I think that's what it is. Like, I just genuinely think I'm just too in the moment that I don't need to look in the future. I don't need to look further. There's nothing I need to know. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing right now, and I'm very aware, and I listen to stuff. Because think about it, it doesn't have to be a whole dream. It doesn't have to be a whole explanation. It could literally be, oh, this faucet was left running. You heard it. You go turn it off, and then all of a sudden you remember something, right? And all of a sudden you need that information like an hour later. Or yeah. So I might actually start writing down these, like, I have random thoughts throughout the day that I think are random, but they apply to my real life. Sometimes they don't, and sometimes there are random thoughts that I'm genuine, like, I need to write them down, and I don't do it. So I'm gonna start doing that, and then hopefully I'll go over those like I did in the dreams. Yeah. Or maybe I'm not supposed to share them, but I feel like I am supposed to share these kinds of stuff. I don't think this is for me, because again, like I said, if we are from one source, we all benefit from communication from whatever way. So yeah, guys, that was me today. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Okay, so I haven't really gotten a lot of dreams, but I'm gonna go over the 2 most recent dreams that I've had because I didn't record them. So this is gonna have to be from the best memory, my book. But we have, okay, March 23rd. So I started off the dream with I was in the living room with my mom and my dad, and we were talking about how my mom had a little eyeliner like this, like a pencil thick, kind of like a collage, I don't know. And she was like, I do not like this orange eyeliner, it's trash, blah blah, like it's horrible. So me and my dad look at each other and we're like, we'll just return it. So my dad tried to return it we went to the mall. We went to that Alderwood Mall, and it did not look like the mall that we had gone to. It was like really big, maybe more similar to the Bellevue Mall, I would say, but a little bit more open. And there was an open like Sephora and MAC and like makeup products in the middle of a strip between like the food court and then just another area of stores over here. It kind of looked like Zara. So he went to this little center plaza thingy inside the mall. He tried to return it, and the sales guy was so rude. He was like, how do I know you even used this? Like, do you have the receipt? My dad had the receipt. He was like, no, like, I'm sorry, but I cannot return it. And then my dad was like, well, it's an orange color, blah blah blah. Like, he's like, we don't even sell those here. Anyways, they were going back and forth. And so I kind of saw, I was from afar, I was at the store kind of looking at stuff, because my dad usually can return, like my dad speaks good enough English to return stuff himself. So I was like, he'll just do that, and then he'll come meet me over here when he's done. But I saw that he was taking a little bit too long. So I run up on this guy, and I'm like, what's up? Like, we got the receipt, we got the product, it's within the policy, like, cough it up. We ended up returning it. And then, yeah, that was pretty much the dream. Then we went back home, and it was just my dad and I at the mall. Then on March 26th, I just had a dream that it was, I literally spawned into the OR, and one of my friends, and then the surgeons that I work with, they were doing surgery on on someone. I wasn't sure if it was a girl or a guy, because they had like towels all over, but they were doing like it was draped, which we never do, for the 4 wisdom teeth extractions, and they were taking turns. So that's it, guys. That's it. I have not dreamt anymore. I guess it's not too bad. March 2nd, March 3rd, 4th, 6th, 8th, no, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 23rd, and 26th is for this month of the dream. So this video might be a little bit longer than the others, but